All right, new song to learn this week, and I got to put the camera so you can see the guitar neck. The strumming part is pretty straightforward, but there will be little things like one of these chords. It's a C chord. There's the full C chord, C major chord. And when we say C chord, every guitarist is talking about a C major chord. As a matter of fact, every musician is talking about a C major chord. It's when you get into the theory of music, the mathematics of music. We're not going to cover that today. Did I show you how to play the C chord last time? But we're going to start with the E minor chord. And this song is going to have a strumming pattern that goes like this. And so my hand keeps moving at the same tempo, which is very important because music timing has to remain a constant. In most rock and roll bands, in rock and roll you'll have a drummer, and they'll be keeping a beat something like this. And there will be variations of what the drummer is doing with the drums, but the timing is basically going to be a beat that just keeps driving. And all the rest of the band is listening to the drummer to understand the beat, and then they know where they need to be, and the whole band is playing to the same beat. Listen for that in music. I want to move this higher. I want to make sure that you're seeing what you need to see. Otherwise, I'm going to have to shoot this thing over again. So we're going to start with the E minor chord. So open string up on top at the 6th string, also known as the E string. 2nd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the D string, and all the other strings are open. So we get open, 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 open. But these two strings, the 5th string and the 4th string, are fretted at the 2nd fret. And you're just going to keep that same strumming pattern, but there's 4 chords in this song. I try to pick an easy one with a somewhat difficult strumming pattern. Also very rewarding song to play, because when you play it, it sounds good. It's by a group called the Cranberries, and the name of the song is called Zombie. So it's E minor, C, G, and D. E minor, C, G, and D. Now if you want to play the full C chord, it's open, 3, 2, open, 1, open. As you can tell, I'm just going down the strings. So as you become more familiar with this, as you become more familiar with the guitar in your hand, and as you've done this more and more, I don't have to explain to you every little move that I'm making. There's your 1st finger, there's your 2nd finger, and there's your 3rd finger. Pinky does not get involved in this one. Open, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open, 1st fret, open. And so I'll play the full C, and I'll play the full G and the D. So back to E minor. And when you're playing the C chord, sometimes you try not to play the E string, the very top string. And so that's a point where you got to look at the strings and get a feel for where that is. And you know what? If you hit all the strings, just go with it. Just play. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. And as you begin to practice more on playing just the bottom 5 strings when you play a C chord. And so you got to get used to those chord changes. So you got to get to know those chords. When I did for you Knocking on Heaven's Door, there was a G, and I believe there was a D and a C. And that's just the beginner way to play Knocking on Heaven's Door. And this is perhaps just the beginner way to play Zombie by the Cranberries. But it's really good to be able to get yourself a song with just 3 chords or just 4 chords and just learn to just go with it and build up that pattern, build up that rhythm, get used to the chord changes. I'm going to put the pick down and I'll just use my thumb. Let's see, and each chord gets 2 strumming patterns. 1, 2. I should probably begin with this actually. Let's go back to the beginner chords. Instead of playing the whole C, we're just going to do these 2 fingers right here. And for the G, just these 2 fingers. And then for the D, we'll do the full D. Oh, and when you play the D chord, it's usually best to only play the 4 bottom strings. E, minor, all strings. C, major, bottom 5 strings. G, major, all strings. D, bottom 4 strings. I just learned this song today.